evening. Happy Thursday. What's up, Virtual Wholesaling Tribe? Your girl, Kia Jasmine Gittins, is super excited to be here with you as always. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. I know I'm a couple minutes late. We're having some technical difficulties over here, but I am excited. So tonight, I wanted to share with you guys a new feature that is on Propstream. So Propstream is a service that we use for, you can utilize it for getting data. If you're looking to get, absentee, all types of different data, you can actually utilize Propstream. But we love using Propstream for running our comps. Like, Propstream is one of the best services out there. Honestly, I feel like it is the best service out there to provide you with information on properties that have been, sold, like, or just information on properties, period. I mean, it gives you things from owners' names, taxes. It gives you an idea as to how much might be owed on the property. It shows you, who the lien holder or the mortgage holder is. I mean, it shows you a ton. It shows you if they have any liens or it tells you a ton of information. But it also includes in their properties, like when you're looking for comparables, properties that have been sold in that area. And the thing that I love about it is it shows you both properties that were sold on the MLS as well as properties that were sold on public records. So like as wholesalers, right, when we're as investors who are wholesaling, when you have a transaction, that transaction typically doesn't hit the MLS. Now, of course, you can absolutely get a deal under contract and post it on the MLS to find buyers, but typically speaking, you're going to find your buyer from, whatever marketing you're doing. So that property never hit the MLS, right? So with Propstream, you're able to find even those type of deals. And those are actually the ideal type of deals, properties that we look for, like when we're running our comps. And I did a whole video on that last week on how we utilize Propstream to run comps. But tonight I wanted to make an announcement about Propstream having a brand new feature. So Propstream now has like I said before, you can go on there and you can actually pull lists. So you can pull an absentee list, right? You can pull a unknown equity list. You can pull a pre-foreclosure list, right? You can pull a vacant list. Now they have access and are providing a probate list. This is huge. This is super, super, super huge for them to provide this type of data. I mean, this is making this service a one-stop shop when it comes to data and when it comes to lists. I still go back and forth between Propstream and ListSource for getting my lists, but for them to have probate again is amazing, and for that to be included in your monthly service is, I don't even think I can fully explain how useful that is. So probates have been, our top converting list. I mean, the list it's not a huge list, right? It's typically a smaller list, but the motivation, that list is highly motivated. These are people that someone has passed away, in their family or close loved one, and now they are getting ownership of a property, right? And a lot of times when people have gotten these properties from someone that's passing away, they don't want to take ownership of the property. They don't want to have the responsibility of paying taxes and, caring for a property or renting it out and having to, be a landlord. Sometimes they just prefer to liquidate the property, get the cash out for the property, and do whatever they want to do with that cash, right? So this is a highly, highly, highly qualified list for getting deals. So again, now you have access to this on Propstream. So I actually want to just quickly show you on Propstream how you can access this list. So let's go to Propstream. Oh, let me do this first. Let me share my screen. That would be helpful. Let me share my screen. There we go. There we go. All right, so we logged into Propstream, right? And you're gonna come in here and just put your city, right? Let's just say we're gonna go to Raleigh, North Carolina. And now you can come over here and you can go into your filters. Okay, so you can start adding your filters for the list that you want to create. You want to actually create the criteria for the list. So I know a lot of times, right, even outside of the probate, you might have like a pre-foreclosure list, right? You have a vacant list, you have a high equity list. With those lists, we like to create and we like to add our own particular criteria. I don't recommend just selecting, all the high equity in a city or in any particular market, right? I always say to add in your specific criteria because you want to make sure, one, that you're targeting the exact type of property that you're looking for. So, you might not want multifamilies, might only want single families or vice versa. You might only want properties that have a certain amount of equity. So if you do find a seller that's motivated, you have the ability to actually, make a deal out of it. There's a ton of different criteria that you might want to put in there to, again, make sure that it's a property that you actually want to be marketing to, as well as making sure that it's a property that if you market to it, it's more qualified, right? So we don't want to kind of throw out a big blanket and just call every single homeowner. You want to be very strategic about selecting your list, right? We want to try to put criteria that indicate more motivation, so that when you are marketing to them, whether, of course, for us, we're cold calling, but whatever marketing that you're doing, you're more likely to convert those deals. I mean, those records, right? So those prospects, you're more likely to convert them to a lead and then convert them to an actual client, right? So that's what it's all about. So in here, again, we were trying to look for probates right now, right? So you come to Raleigh, you come in and you select your filters. So typically, you're not really worried about owner occupied or the occupancy status for the probates, right? The person has recently passed away. So it might still be under like that it's occupied, but obviously they've recently passed away. So we're not really going to worry about that. What we do want to put in is if you're in a market where you're looking for single families, you want to add that in there, right? So we're looking for single families. Okay. We're going to go down to MLS status. So, if it's in a probate and they've already listed the property, or in a pre-probate in this scenario, and they've already listed the property, right? We want to focus in on properties that have a higher chance that you're going to actually get the deal, and that's going to be a more motivated individual. So if they've gone to a realtor and they've already listed the property, especially in today's market, the likelihood of you getting that, I'm not saying that you can't, but the likelihood of you getting that property under contract is going to be slimmer, right? So we want to tailor and get our list down to as granular as we can, without kind of going overboard, right? So we're going to do off market. We don't want any properties that are listed on the market. And guys, you'll notice over here on the right that as I start putting criteria in, that this number will go down. So right now, the only criteria we have is all of all of Raleigh, North Carolina, single families that are not listed. So right now there's 118,000 properties, right, in our list. So again, as we add more criteria, you will notice that this is going to change. Okay, so ownership information. This is where it gets awesome for the pre-probates. So right here, okay, you want to put, and a note out to Propstream, if you guys are listening, is I would change this word to say only, okay? Only probates, because when you say include, you think it makes you feel like you're getting whatever you're requesting plus the probate. Whereas right now we're looking for, it's when you select this, it's going to be only the probates, okay? So for any, that's more including. That doesn't, it's including probates in there. This should say, includes, and this should just say only. All right. But we're going to do include. Okay, so include. All right, so you see that bought that from 100 and what was that, 118,000 to 2,129 records. Okay, and then we're gonna come over down to the valuation, right? So, as investors, we're looking for properties that have some equity, right? Especially if you're wholesaling the transaction, you definitely need the property to have even more equity in it for you to be able to get it under contract and then assign it off to your buyer. So we're looking for something that has properties that have at least 35% equity. Okay. So that brings you to 2016 records. 2016 records. Okay. So this is off. Yes, yes. Okay, 2016 records. Okay. So I'm trying to see if there is a way to exclude any that were recently sold. Because you see some here, right? These few couple ones here have been recently sold. So we obviously don't want to include that. Let me see here real quick. List date. I don't know if there's a way to exclude those, but that would be good because you don't want some of these properties that have been recently sold. So if you do see any of those that say recently sold, when you do your selection, you just want to unselect those options. Okay, so right now you have 2016 pre-probates in Raleigh. Now, the one thing that I do have to figure out about this list is how often they update this list and as well as how far back this list goes. Okay, so we want to know how far back this list goes. So if it goes back, let's just say like a year, that's still good because the probate process can take a few months. It can take up, it really depends. It can take a few months to a year to complete, right? So, but if it goes back like 5 years or so, something like that, then we will want to add one more criteria so that we're getting the ones that are a little bit more recent. Okay. So this will be 2006 records for you, right? So what you want to do is you would save this search. Okay, save this search. This would be like Raleigh vacant. Excuse me, Raleigh pre-probate. Probate. There we go. Raleigh pre-probate, right? You can put it on the top of your search here if you want it to be the one of the options that pops up here, right? Or it would just go into your all folder. Okay. And then you want to get weekly updates. So what will happen is Propstream will actually email you once a week, just letting you know, hey, there's 10 new properties inside that search. And then you can grab those and do your thing, skip trace them, start marketing to them. Okay. And then you already know once you're ready to select them all, you add it to your list. And then you go over to your properties, you export it, and you head on over to batch skip trace and get that thing skip traced and start marketing to them. So I wanted to just bring this to you. This literally is like a brand new feature. It seems like they were doing some tweaks this week because I was playing with it earlier this week, and there were some changes even within the week. So I'm going to keep on just kind of playing with it, maybe even send them over an email, just ask a couple questions, get a little bit more updates on it. But I wanted to bring this to you like right away because this is a list that is absolutely phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that you're able to access this list like for $99 a month with Propstream is so great because typically we have been going to the courthouse, or we've been having someone go to the courthouse for us to get this data. And now we can get this right online. And if we weren't going to the courthouse, we would go to, a different source. Like we love foreclosuresdaily.com to get the probates. But now this is another source that we can actually utilize to get this data. And the one thing that I do know, again, I need to just see, how up to date this is, right? How often do they go out and collect this data and update it? That's the one thing that I do need to find out. But hey, this is a list that you can start marketing to ASAP. So I wanted to bring this to you guys. And I provided a link inside the description for you to get a 7-day free trial to Propstream. So it's a no-brainer. Like you can go in there, you can get that list ASAP and start marketing. And like I said, again, this is the highest converting list. I would say between this and like the tax delinquents, which you can get from the courthouse as well, typically by just submitting an email. And I think I'm going to do, that's what I do. I'll do another video or I'll do a video on how to get the tax delinquents directly from your courthouse. But between those two lists, I mean, you should have a deal. Once you start doing your marketing, you're doing some marketing consistently, and you're out there making offers. So wanted to bring that to you ASAP. I appreciate you tuning in with me tonight. This was a quick one, but it's super, super, super needed. Like super had to hop on like ASAP and get this information to you guys. So I appreciate you tuning in as always. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm definitely here to answer any questions that you may have. And like the video if this brought you or provided you with some value tonight. And yeah, I appreciate it. I'll stick on for a couple seconds just to see if anybody has any questions. I'm looking in the comments. Jacqueline says, hello, dear. Hello, dear. I can't see the other two people who they are, so I'm going to head over to Facebook so I can actually see who you are. That's the one thing about streaming from StreamYard is I can't see who's commenting. It doesn't show me your names. Bonzel, what's up, brother? That's definitely the guy for wholesale and commercial spaces. And then Jasmine, hello. She says, thank you. You are so, so, so welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed being here with you tonight, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you soon.